What is up, Blasianaires and Blasianettes? So, The Flash Season 3 has recently concluded, and now I'm here to do my review on Season 3. Now, I am not gonna review all 23 episodes. I'm just gonna review some parts of this season that stood out to me the most. So, primarily, that will be the season finale and the episode leading up to the finale. Now, I mean, so we all know that this is basically, where we're introduced to Flashpoint, or this version of Flashpoint, and Barry basically has to face the consequences of him creating this, this paradox, or this little, alternate reality that he created, and then when he gets back, when he tries to fix things back to the way they were, it doesn't go quite as planned. There's tension there within the team, Cisco, like, especially, and even over in the Arrow, like over in Team Arrow, it's also been affected by that. When Diggle and Lila, their daughter is now their son, and so yeah, I mean, Barry definitely crossed the line. This is like the lowest thing that he's ever done by far. So, and then now he's paying for it, even to the point where when they had that big crossover event, the aliens even said they wanted him. Like damn. I mean, people just want to kick Barry's ass. Oh man. And then we're introduced to Alchemy, and then how I said with that whole setup with thinking, okay, is Julian Alchemy, whatever, because he doesn't seem to like Barry very much, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched. I mean, and giving that Tom Felton played an asshole in the Harry Potter movies, I guess, some people would expect that to happen, but I would also be like, okay, that was way too predictable. That would be way too predictable if he turns out to be a bad guy in this season. From when it's revealed that he is Alchemy, I'm like, okay, that was poorly handled. And then we dive deeper into that. Okay, so Julian is the vessel of Alchemy, and he's not actually Alchemy. I mean, Alchemy is taking over his body. So, like, oh, okay, cool. And man, and I just recently found, I don't know how I did not pick up on this before, but I did think this a while back, that I think both Alchemy and Savitar, they both sound like their voices are being portrayed by Tobin Bell, who is Jigsaw in the Saw franchise. I'm like, okay. I mean, it did have Tony Todd, aka Candyman, as the voice of Zoom, so why not have another horror icon for the voice of the supervillain of the season? So yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I thought it was just me, but hey, I mean, that's confirmation. It was Tobin Bell, as the voice. So that's pretty cool. And then we're introduced to Savitar, and then we see a future that could possibly happen where Iris gets killed by Savitar, and then the whole second half is basically them trying to work their way around that. And then fast forward all the way to that last episode before the finale, where Barry is trying really hard to prevent that from happening, trying to get a step, 10 steps ahead of Savitar, and he goes to Captain Cold for help to get this thing that they need, and then we find out what inspired Captain Cold to sacrifice himself. I mean, when Barry could have just left him there, with what, King Shark, and but instead he tried to get him out of there, and holy shit. And then they say goodbye to each other, and then he says to Barry, I mean, there are no strings on me. I'm like, whoa. So this is what led up to that moment. And then Captain Cold, Leonard Snark didn't say anything to anybody, like, or at least not on screen or whatever. Like, wow. So this moment in that episode led up to what happened in season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. Like, holy shit. And then now we are on to the ending of this episode. And I know I really wanted to do a video on that, of how it ended, where you know, Iris, you know, gets killed anyway in that ending. But I'm like, I just couldn't find the time to do it. But you know, that was for the best that I did not find time to do that, because in the season finale we pick up right from where we left off, and boom, and then we find out that it was actually HR that, you know, that got killed and not Iris. And then HR, you know, when we see HR on the roof, that's actually Iris. So they switched places. See, I mean, so I was right the first time, where they're trying to make us believe that Iris is gonna die, and then someone else on Team Flash is gonna bite the dust. I thought my primary suspect was Joe West, but you know, because that would leave a massive impact on Barry and Iris and Wally. But okay, so I guess Joe is, you know, is spared. I mean, and I'm glad. But and that, I mean, HR's sacrifice, it did hit me. I mean, because at first I felt I didn't know what to think of him, because I warmed up to, you know, to Harry from Earth 2, you know, like, and I'm like, man, can we just keep Harry? And then, you know, like, just like with Harry, I mean, like, HR grew on me, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I love HR. And then this happens. So I thought his attempt to try to go and basically save Iris, I thought it looked like he failed, but he actually succeeded. So that's, you know, I miss you, HR. I miss you. And then, you know, the Team Flash tries to reason with Savitar, and it looks like it's going well. It looks like he's starting to become Barry Allen again. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I trust this or not. I mean, we're like not even near the end of the episode yet. I don't know if I trust this. And then, oddly enough, he was basically there to basically, you know, to basically fuck shit up for the team. And then it looks like, you know, Cisco is doing what he wanted, but something's telling me, like, I think he did something, like, where he double-crossed Savitar. And oddly and conveniently, he did. And then that got Jay Garrick out of his prison. And then, right before that, you know, Black Flash, you know, came in there for a split second. He came to kill Savitar, and then Killer Frost just supposedly kills him by freezing, but just by freezing him. I'm like, I don't buy that. I think you just postponed the inevitable, or whatever. I mean, I don't think you can even kill Black Flash. I don't think so. But anyway, you know, Jay Garrick is out of his prison, and then him, Flash, Kid Flash, they all team up against Savitar, and then it eventually leads to Barry getting Savitar out of that suit, and then Barry's in now. Our Flash is inside that suit, beating his ass, and he spares his life, and you know, and then he destroys the suit, like, I'm like, whoa. I mean, I didn't expect that, you know, for Barry to get in his suit and just basically take over and just defeat Savitar while he's outside of that suit. I'm like, it's pretty damn cool. And then Iris kills, you know, Savitar before he can get to, you know, before he can kill, you know, before he could attempt to kill our Flash. So there is that. And then it all looks, you know, hunky-dory. They have a funeral for HR, and then everything seems to be back to normal. But no, the Speed Force is going out of control, and then, you know, it's like, you know, it looks like it's trying to obliterate Central City, and then it's like, yeah, I mean, for a second I thought maybe Savitar was gonna take Jerry Garrick's place. Maybe that's what Black Flash was attempting to, I don't know, no, he was there to kill him. But maybe that's what I thought was gonna happen, like where they were gonna throw him into the prison. But no. So that leads to, I'm like, wait a minute, Barry's gonna go in there, and he does. And as he's saying goodbye to everybody, and man, I said to myself, like, nope, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna do it, nope, get back in there, damn it, I said get back in there. I mean, it was just an emotional ending, and did enjoy this, that season finale. And then, like, and what, just when I thought this ending couldn't hit me any further, right when Barry turns back around to look at Iris before he walks into the Speed Force, like, before he leaves, like, man, I mean, what makes this ending very heartbreaking is, like, like, this happened in, I didn't really read the comics all like that, but from what I do know, like, the mantle of the Flash is passed on, like, from one speedster to another, like, and I'm thinking, I mean, at first I was thinking, like, man, we're gonna see Barry again. I mean, we're led to believe that he may not, that he's gone, that he won't be back, he's no longer a regular, but, I mean, that's how it looks, but I think there's somehow, some way he's gonna make his way back to all of us. I mean, but there is that possibility that Barry Allen is basically gone, and Wally West has to basically take on the mantle from here on. And Jay Garrick looks like he's going to be there to probably guide him through that. So he will be an accurate, an accurate mentor for him. And Barry helped him through that. So that's something that Barry didn't have, like a mentor that meant well. You know what I mean? But I'm clinging on to that possibility, to my faith that we have not seen the last of Barry Allen, and he will be back before you know it. But, or for all we know, in the season, when the season premiere starts, I mean, like, it was his, like, that would be funny if it was his time remnant that went into the Speed Force, and then Barry just comes out and says, oh, I thought she would never leave. But I don't know, I guess that would take the effect of this ending away. And even though some people would feel relieved and others would feel copped out, like, you made me cry over that. Whatever. I mean, they did punk us in the season finale when we thought we were going to lose Iris, but I was right the first time on that, where someone else on the team is going to, take your place. But yeah, I mean, with that all being said, this was a fantastic season, and I mean, I can't think of any nitpicks right now because, I mean, like, it's still fresh in my mind. It's probably going to come to me later, and I don't know if I'm going to do a separate video on it, so I'm just going to rate this whole season. So this gets 4 solid chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 solid chair spins. So yeah, I miss Barry already, and I miss HR, and then Killer Frost. I forgot to mention that Killer Frost did turn against Savitar, but she didn't take the antidote. I mean, like, she's basically stuck in the middle, like, of what she wants to do with herself. So we don't know what the future holds for Caitlin Snow or Killer Frost, whichever you want to call her. But the fact that she betrayed Savitar does give us hope that Caitlin is not too far gone. So we shall see about that. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see Jesse Quick, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we will see her again, but I mean, I'm thinking that there's a possibility that she may take Barry's place, so he can get out of there and she goes in. But I don't know. That could. I mean, that probably will not happen. But I just don't know how Barry's gonna get out of this one. I mean, it looks like he has to stay gone. Like, he basically created Flashpoint, and now he's paying for it. He made his bed, now he has to sleep in it. Like, damn it. Now, that ending with Supergirl, like, where it was indication that it was going to be very emotional, it was. I felt bad for Kara, but, however, I was not emotional. I just felt bad for Kara. But here, I was emotional. Like, I gotta stew on this until October. I mean, I am gonna enjoy having a more flexible, like, schedule for these next few months leading up to, like when all the shows come back on. But I gotta stew on this until October. Really, CW? Ugh. Let's see if Arrow makes that worse tonight. Oh man, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review on this season of The Flash, make sure you thumb up the video and click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and feel free to leave your thoughts on what do you think is going to happen in season 4 and what did you think of season 3. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.